Hey guys, we're today. So today's video, of course, I will be giving you guys my updated prediction now for the 2022 Qatar World Cup. We are 1 month away, so I thought what better time to do this, of course. Before we get into it, definitely like this video, guys, and definitely subscribe to the channel, guys, if you haven't already. Click that like button and subscribe right now. But other than that, let's just get straight into this. So of course, with it, with the tournament being 1 month away, the nerves I don't know, the excitement essentially builds in, and yeah, I'm just very excited for this tournament overall. But of course, when we look at Group A, yes, it's you do have the likes of Qatar as well as Ecuador, Senegal as well as the Netherlands. But in terms of the order, I think you have to go with I think it's very easy to say that you have to go with the Netherlands first. So I'm gonna have to select Netherlands as the number 1, which I think is a given in the sense of how good they have been so far. And throughout the World Cup qualifying, actually, they were brilliant. So I've got to give them that edge essentially. It's difficult to go with number 2 because really, in my opinion, I'd like to think it's between Senegal or Ecuador. Unfortunately, it's Qatar. I mean, yes, they are the home nation, but I'm not sure they'll be as strong as Ecuador as Senegal. I mean, I could be wrong, by the way, because when you look at a home nation, you can never really underestimate them. But I'm gonna have to hedge my bet towards Senegal just because they were the African champions obviously this year, and they do have a lot of quality players in there, of course, with the likes of Mendy as well as Mane, Koulibaly as well. I'm gonna go with Senegal, and then I'm actually gonna see this might surprise a few people, but I'm actually gonna go with Qatar in third. I believe they can maybe get a win over Ecuador. We'll see if that happens or not, but I'm kind of hedging my bet that for them to do well. At the end of the day, it's really just they have to obviously help Qatar in terms of kind of making sure that their presence within football is felt obviously after this tournament. But yeah, we'll see how they get along, of course. But anyway, we'll move on now towards the Group B, probably the group of death, I'd say, in my opinion, and probably the group which I'm most excited for. This is obviously the one that has the US, which is obviously my team, but it does also have the likes of England, which is it's a very big match, obviously, when they face up. But you do have the likes of Iran and Wales. Of course, Wales is the team that did qualify through that playoff position. So they did have to get past the likes of, I believe, what was it? Who did they beat actually? They beat Ukraine. I know. They beat Ukraine, I believe, in the final. But who did they beat beforehand? Was it Scotland? I'm not sure they beat Scotland. I think Ukraine was the one who beat Scotland. I think they beat Czech Republic, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, Wales definitely deserves to be in the group. They're a hell of a team, obviously. And when Gareth Bale's on form, of course, they do look unstoppable. So it'll be interesting to see how they get along within this group. But look, I have to go with England. They have a very strong team, and yes, they have kind of underperformed recently in terms of form. In terms, they haven't done particularly well, losing 1-0 to Italy recently, and obviously that 3-3 draw in England against Germany. But I feel that kind of built a bit of you saw a bit of resilience there from the England side, and I think that's kind of what they needed. Just before World Cup, and yes, I do know they have a lot of injuries coming up, but it's England, man. I just can't see them not being first. I mean, look, I would love to be proven wrong here, but yeah, no, I got to go with England. It's really the second, it's really the most difficult thing in this group because, look, as an American, I want to say, yes, we'll do it. I mean, when you look at the average age, of course, I mentioned this within my previous video, which I will link, by the way, at the end of this video, which was my early prediction. And I did mention that the USA does have, on average, the youngest squad, in this entire World Cup. I think the average was like, what, 23.4, if I'm not mistaken. For the stat the last time I saw it. So they're definitely going into this tournament with not a lot of experience, to be perfectly honest, guys. So as an American, yes, I will obviously be confident as it builds more and more closer, obviously, towards the tournament. But look, I'm actually going to edge it towards Wales. This is purely because of the players they have, but also because they have a ton of experience, and they've recently, we've recently seen it obviously through the Euros where they did get past the group stage into the round of 16. So I'm gonna hedge my bet towards Wales and then the US. But look, that can be really vice versa. And of course, Iran is going to be a challenge as well because you can never underestimate them because I believe they drew against both Spain and Portugal, if I'm not mistaken, in that last World Cup. But they're a heck of a side. So don't underestimate Iran at all. But for this one, I think I have to edge towards either Wales or USA, and I've hedged my bet towards Wales. So we'll see if it pays off or not. Of course, we'll then move on now towards Group C. So we do have the likes of Group C here. Very easy to select, obviously, with Argentina. It's really just between Mexico and Poland. I mean, look, Argentina, before I go over them, go right past them, they have a brilliant squad and definitely one of the favorites to win this tournament. So yeah, it's no kind of a surprise I put them at first in this group. It's really just between Mexico and Poland, in my opinion. I think a lot of people actually overrate Mexico and what they can actually do this year, just because they always seem to go into the round of 16, within every tournament. But I don't think this is the year. I'm actually going to go with Poland. And that's purely, Lewandowski. I mean, we know a lot of Polish players recently doing pretty well. Zelensky obviously doing very well for Napoli, I believe. Who else? There's more players. Szczesny, of course, for Juve. So I think Poland have a good chance. So I'm going to say Poland at second. Mexico, of course, third. And that finishes also with Saudi Arabia at number 4. So, hopefully that's kind of right. We'll see that kind of is right or not at the end of the group stage. But, of course, for Group D, the final group in terms of this row, we do the likes of France, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia. And of course, Australia was, the other team that did qualify through the playoffs. So, obviously, congrats to them. I did watch that, and it was a heck of a game against Peru to do it. So, fair play to Australia for obviously qualifying once more. In terms of this group, look, I actually want to say France. Look, I think the obvious is to say France at first, but I'm actually looking more towards Denmark now in terms of what they can do. So, and with France, they don't have a goal Conte, by the way, guys. But obviously Benzema did recently win the Ballon d'Or, so it's kind of in my head a lot more that France will actually become first. But I don't know. I mean, Pogba might not be ready in time. I think I saw he's now training with the Juve team, but I'm not sure if that does mean if he'll be available or not. Um, it's tough. You know what? I'm actually gonna go with a surprise here, guys. I'm actually gonna say Denmark first. I believe they have the quality to do it. We saw that obviously within the Euros. Ericsson is playing off his skin, to be honest, with United at the moment. Obviously you have other players like Damsgaard doing well. Obviously at Brentford now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Simon Kerr, obviously. Kasper Schmeichel's now got the Nice. I think they have a good core there. I think they can do it once more. I mean, I could be wrong, by the way. I could be completely wrong with this. It's just that it's one of those guesses where you never know. We'll see what happens. But of course, that doesn't mean that I'll put France at second. They definitely will qualify. I'm never going to put them in third. Trust me. But you never know. Maybe the curse of the Giants, essentially, in terms of whoever wins the World Cup doesn't qualify towards the round of 16. It's happened. I think, for the last 3 World Cups. So, but no, I do believe France will kind of break that cycle, in my opinion. But I'm going to go Australia actually third, and I'm going to put Tunisia fourth. So we'll see how that plays out, of course. But anyway, we'll move on now towards the kind of Group E, to say the least. So we do have the likes of Group E here. So we do have the likes of Spain, Germany, Costa Rica, and Japan. Again, it's between Spain and Germany. To no surprise, really there. Really feel unfortunate there for Japan because they're a great side actually, but against Germany and Spain, it's another level really. So in my opinion, if I had to choose between Spain and Germany, I'm actually hedging my bet towards Spain. I think I did choose Spain in my last video in the early prediction, and I'm actually going to stick with it. Germany are a heck of a side, by the way, guys. But I'm actually going to go with Spain just because I feel like they under Luis Enrique, almost forgot his name. Luis Enrique, they've done very well recently. And I saw that game against Portugal where they won 1-0 away. They just seem so controlled in how they kind of control the game. And they're pretty clinical with their chances. So I'm gonna go with Spain and then obviously Germany, Japan, of course, and then to finish it off, Costa Rica. So there we go. And obviously Costa Rica is another side who obviously did qualify for the playoffs, but just unfortunately that they're probably one of the toughest groups in this World Cup. So it'll be hard for them obviously to come back into it. But anyway, moving now towards the Group F. So we do the likes of Group F here with Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. Belgium, I think I have to go first. It's one of those where, Croatia could maybe in for a shout, but I'm sticking to Belgium. They always perform when it comes towards the World Cup, and particularly in group stages. They wipe the floor really. So I'm gonna go with Belgium. Croatia. I think it's tough to not put Croatia second for how well they've done within previous tournaments, obviously with the Euros, as well as becoming runners-up in the World Cup. So it's tough not to look at Monaco and obviously Morocco. Canada are just brilliant sides, and you can't really underestimate both of them. But I think Croatia just have the edge purely, I'd say, on experience in terms of these competitions. Again, you do the likes of Canada and Morocco, but I'm actually going to hedge my bet towards Canada. I do believe they can get a win over Morocco. I think they can get their first win in the World Cup. So I'm hedging my bet towards them, and I hope they do it, of course. Love to see kind of my neighbor country essentially get a win because they have a great squad, and obviously they did actually come first, and obviously the CONCACAF conference in terms of the World Cup qualifying. So they heavily deserve kind of kind of make their name in terms of the FIFA World Cup. So we'll love that obviously for any Canada fans who are obviously watching. But anyway, moving on now towards Group G. For obviously the last two groups now, Group G and H. For Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon. It's probably the most even group, obviously, besides Brazil. So Brazil obviously is going to be first. There's no doubt about that. Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon. I'm actually just going to put this in order of what it is actually, because I believe that's actually what the order will be. Now, I think Serbia was brilliant, actually, obviously qualifying ahead of most countries. It was really an automatic, kind of a promotion essentially in terms of how they got in early in terms of qualifying. So yeah, fair play to them. Obviously, Switzerland is on their day can just be any team in the world. Obviously, we saw that against France in the Euros. Yeah, they have a good squad, of course. And Cameroon, yes, you can't really underestimate them, but at the same time, I think Switzerland and Serbia are just a level above them. So yeah, I'm gonna go Brazil, Serbia. So I think that's kind of a good way of doing it. And of course, finishing off Group H: Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, Korea. I mean, look, it's between Portugal and Uruguay, I'd say, but at the same time, Korea is up there. Korea, you can never really get out of the conversation. You know what? This may. Well, okay, look, I'm gonna put Portugal first. I'm gonna put Portugal first because I think they have a good shot obviously getting through in the knockouts. So yeah, I'm gonna go Portugal, but I don't know. Korea's kind of tempting me. I've seen them recently do a lot. They've done very well recently. They obviously beat Germany and all that from the last World Cup. Uruguay, can they bring Uruguay down? It could happen. Ooh. It's got me thinking now, actually. But Uruguay, see, Valverde is the only one that's kind of it's in my head because he's been playing out of his skin for Real Madrid. And obviously, you do have the likes of Darwin Nunez, and obviously Suarez, and you have the likes of what else? There's one other striker I'm forgetting clearly. It's not Falcao, but yeah, they have a great squad. You know what? I'm actually going to Korea. Like maybe a bold shout here, guys, a bold claim, but I'm actually going to Korea, then Uruguay, then Ghana. Ghana, by the way, are very another team similar to Mexico who will be overrated in terms of a lot of people thinking they'll do a good job, but I just don't think they'll have the ability. But anyway, we're moving now towards the round of 16. So let's see kind of the matchups we have. So there you go. Netherlands versus Wales is the first matchup we have. I have to go Netherlands here. I think that's kind of an easy selection there. I think Netherlands just on their day. I think have the players to do it. Obviously with Van Dijk, Depay doing very well for the Netherlands recently. Obviously, you have the likes of Dumfries, Tyrone Malacia obviously doing well for United. Timber, yeah. I mean the list goes on really for that team. So yeah, I'm gonna head to my bet towards Netherlands in that one. Unfortunately for Wales, I mean, look, they get past the round of 16 in the group stage. I think it's a dub really for any team who gets into that situation. So yeah, no, I think Wales would definitely take that if I were a Wales fan, of course. Moving on to the next one, Argentina, France. Oh my gosh, whoa, that is a game and a half. Gosh, like Messi versus Mbappe. Jeez, two PSG teammates that are facing off against each other. Oh my gosh, who wins that one? That could be realistically a final, guys, to be perfectly honest. Wow. You know what? I have to go probably with I'm hedging my bet towards Argentina, I'd say. But that's only because in terms of their recent form and also because of the record, I believe they won 39 games, they're unbeaten or something like that. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm actually gonna hedge my bet towards Argentina, but it can go either way because Benzema is just he's just won Ballon d'Or. Yeah, he's in good form, so he can change a game just like that. But of course, Argentina do have Messi, so you can definitely change the game with him. But yeah, I'm gonna hedge my bet towards Argentina. But God, that's a tough. That'll be a great game to watch. That actually does happen. But anyway, moving on. We do have the next match, obviously with England Senegal. That'll be a good matchup, obviously with African champions versus England. England will definitely not try to. They can't underestimate them because like I said before, and there's some quality players in there. But I think England can do the job. I think when it comes towards the knockout stages, I think with Southgate, he's actually really done well in terms of I don't know, what's the word? In his tactics, he's done very well in terms of the setup around England when it comes towards knockout stages and how players will obviously play in that sense. So I'm actually going to hedge my bet towards England there. Yeah, anyway, match 52, Denmark versus Poland. Denmark easily. I think they just have the quality to do it. I'm not going to talk too much into that. They just have a great squad. Next one, Spain versus Croatia. I mean, we've seen this matchup a lot of times. Actually, we saw this actually within the Euros, if I'm not mistaken, in the round of 16. I think the game went to like what? It was like 5-4 in the end, if I'm not mistaken. It was crazy actually, but or maybe 4-3. I'm not sure what was the scoreline, but I do remember they're in the Euros, and obviously Spain did go through. But against Croatia, no, I gotta go Spain. I'm gonna go Spain. I'm trying to psych myself out of that. But anyway, Brazil versus South Korea. Yeah, I mean this is an easy dub for Brazil in my opinion. We'll just go straight move on. Sorry, Korea. But yeah, Belgium versus Germany. Oh my gosh, that is that is tough. That is tough. You know what? This may surprise a lot of people, but originally, I, I see. I want to go. I want to go with Germany here, just because they're one of those sides where on their day they can literally beat any team, and they're that good. And they have a very young squad, by the way. With Malacia, of course. They do the likes of Sane. They have Nabry. They got what? Who else? I'm afraid of Big Royce, but Royce actually, no, he just got injured. Is he going to be ill? I'm not sure. Obviously they have Sula. I'm trying to think of the players, and obviously Belgium have De Bruyne, Lukaku, but Lukaku, I'm not sure what's happening with him because he may be injured or whatever. So that's the only downfall in terms of Belgium, because I'm not sure what's Lukaku's position looking like. Let me just quickly search right now, guys. Like while I'm doing this, like what is Lukaku? What is he up to? Like I haven't heard too much about him. Like is he still injured? Is he like? I mean, he must be. I assume he's playing. I mean, I actually haven't checked in terms of Inter because that's where my knowledge is kind of bleak in that sense. I don't watch Inter. I watch AC, which is say what you want, but AC is my team when it comes to Serie A. But Inter Milan. I mean, I know he didn't play against Liverpool or Barca, so we'll just check right now. Yeah, he's not even part of the team sheet, so he must be still injured then. Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to head back towards Germany, but if Lukaku is fit, then I would put Belgium in. I think that's what I would do though. But for now, I'm putting Germany. So yeah, Germany has to be my team then for this one. But anyway, moving on towards the last one of the round of 16, Portugal Serbia, a rematch actually of the World Cup qualifying playoffs. Serbia did at the end kind of beat Portugal, and obviously meant that Portugal had to go through the playoffs because of them. So yeah, Portugal will want revenge for sure. I have to go Portugal here. I think the revenge is really kind of kicking there. It's kind of making me think a lot more. So yeah, I'm gonna go Portugal. I mean, quarterfinals now. That's where it gets very interesting. Of course, Netherlands, Argentina. Wow, it's a great game. Obviously, semifinal in the 2014 World Cup. Argentina did progress in that one through penalties. It was 0-0. It was 14 penalties. But I'm actually going Argentina. I'm going Argentina. Again, they're a team on form, but the Netherlands, they can also do. Where do I go with? I'm going Argentina. I'll go Argentina. I can't. If I go too much more in the detail there, it's just going to be mind-boggling. I may change my mind. But anyway, Brazil Spain versus Brazil. Spain, Brazil. Will Spain feel the pain? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go Brazil. I think Brazil really have the squad and depth. Really, the depth in squad is where I think Brazil can edge a lot of teams in this World Cup. Because remember, injuries are going to be a huge thing. Because there's no games obviously before this World Cup now, so there may be a lot of injuries. But Brazil has so many players which they can rely on, which is it's obviously good for them. So yeah, I'm gonna hedge my bet towards Brazil, and then obviously for the last, second last one now, England Denmark. Whoa, that's a rematch actually of the semifinal for the Euros. Will Denmark get the revenge over England? That is the question. I can see it happening. That's the thing. I can see this actually happening. Denmark beating England, but again, England they have the squad, but can they actually make it work? That's the question. Like that's kind of really the main question for England. They have the players, but can they make the chemistry work? I mean, look, I may be wrong here, guys, but I'm gonna head back towards England just because for what they've displayed in the last two tournaments, England have been very good in that sense. And obviously, they did beat Denmark, obviously, in that semifinal. Oh, that's a tough one. Yeah, no. I'm going to go England. I may disappoint a lot of Denmark fans there, but yeah, I think England may just sneak it there. But anyway, last one. Germany, Portugal. Whoa, that is a big one. Germany, Portugal. Oh, that is big. Obviously, now with Jota out for Portugal, it's one less option which they can rely on. Germany as well, but they have Ronaldo, they have Liao, they got Bernardo Silva, they got Chow, Germany. Yeah, geez, Germany. Cruz as well. I mean, that's another name mentioned before. Goretzka, Kimmich. Yeah, this is tough. This is really tough. You know what? I'm gonna go Germany. I think they might just edge Portugal just because of depth, but I could be wrong though. We'll see what happens. Anyway, semifinals. Here we go. Wow, an all South American semifinal here, and then yeah, an all European. Okay, so Argentina versus Brazil. Wow. Oh, I hate this. I hate how I've done this. I mean, this is how it worked last time actually as well. Brazil versus Argentina. I mean, this semifinal can go to penalties, guys. By the way, it's that close of a game. This is really that close of a game, and obviously, Argentina did beat Brazil in the Copa America by only 1 goal. You know what? I'm actually going to Argentina. Yeah, I'm going to Argentina. I can't change my mind because I want to say Brazil, but Brazil they have the perception of where they're just going to crumble. And that's really within recent history, but you never know. Maybe they change that. But I'm going to Argentina. And then now for the next one. The second semifinal. England versus Germany. Gosh, so much history there. So much history. And obviously, England did beat Germany obviously recently in the 2021 Euros 2-0. But again, obviously that was in England, so it's kind of yeah. Oh, England, Germany. Who will win this? You know what? I'm going Germany. Jeez, we can't believe we're going with this. And there you go. Wow, this is going to be the exact same final as what we saw obviously in 2014. Rematch between Argentina versus Germany. And yeah, no, I'm going to Argentina. They're going to be my winners for the tournament, guys. Yeah, I just think they really just have the quality, obviously. And obviously, if Messi stays fit, he does obviously have a bit of an injury, but I think he'll be available in time. And yeah, I believe Di Maria might be a bit off, but again, Argentina just have that squad. Yeah, Argentina, they're my winners. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments, by the way, what you guys think. If you guys disagree or agree, let me know, of course. But other than that, yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
Hey, feel I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up. Feel I'm in the mood for a